What's up, guys? So, just doing some time-lapse stuff here, getting the deck torn up. Um, I do apologize about it being blurry. I didn't even realize it till after I moved the camera again here in a little bit. But you're not really missing too much. I'm just pulling these boards up. These right here, I was trying to use my torch, seeing if I could like heat the screws up and kind of clean the little heads of them or whatever to get my drill to work better. It didn't work. It sucked. I think still on my roll of the other day when I said like 1 out of every 5 or something like that, it's still about the same. I actually started working on the outside there and didn't even realize like, hey, I'm cutting this whole board off anyways. Stop wasting my time. So now I was cutting up some of the wood, getting ready for a fire, burning it as I go. Kept the backyard way cleaner doing it like that. So that was a help. Plus, it's nice having a fire. I like having little fires. And then here, as you see me with the blower, I'm just kind of blowing all the crud and trash under the deck, like farther under it as I go. And then when I get all the way to the other end, when I got the lattice off, that's when I will be able to, like, suck it up with the vacuum and clean it all up. And I had to put my foot on these boards because as I pry them up, I noticed these boards were coming loose. And then look at this. Look how nasty it was. Just cobwebs and like dog hair and dirt. But check this out. These are held together with plywood. Just rotted away plywood. These are screwed to that 2x6 with that same plywood. So look at that. Move the whole piece. Jesus. I might have to replace these. I don't know. I was kind of getting frustrated like the longer I went. I was just losing motivation, so I was kind of doing like little odd tasks like this, like power washing it, just to kind of change it up a little bit because pulling these boards off was actually like just killing my back. I was having to pry so hard. Like the nails and screws won't come out, yet I gotta pry like with all my might against them. It sucked. I think I'm done for the day. What a mess. Just after that little power wash, it looks way better. Most of the wood actually looks fairly decent aside from the old paint and then that board laying there on its side that was cracked at the bottom. Most of it cleaned up pretty good. Some of it was a little bit stained, but nice and strong though. And then here I cleaned up all the leaves and trash that was all along the back there, burning them all. Doesn't look like much to you guys, but man, I swear to you, it's a night and day difference back there already. It's looking good. I am worn out, but look what we made again. If you guys aren't surprised. So I've been outside, I'm not going to say all day because I didn't go out there till probably like 3 o'clock, but it is no idea because the power went out. 8 o'clock right now. For the past like 20 minutes, no, probably about a half hour, I've been playing with this thing. I'm not gonna lie, after almost losing it, like I've been nervous to fly it, so I haven't really flown it like I did the other day when, you know, I put that clip in the vlog, you know, like hovering over me while I was cleaning the backyard. But a guy on my other channel, I made a video about, like, actually, you know, when I almost lost it, like showed like the footage and all that stuff on my other channel, BriansGarage. And somebody commented and said that when it's in the case, it's like, you know, it's folded up, like these little arms retract and fold up. And it makes sense when it's in this case right here, these little tiny spots. I believe, see, yeah, it would be the rear wings. The ones in back, because they fold to the bottom, they can actually like get flat, which would make sense because, you know, if it doesn't have that little arch in the wings, and if those wings aren't perfect, it's gonna have trouble doing what it's supposed to do. You know, like, might be able to fly it, you know, decently, but, you know, when you try to get higher, if there's any kind of wind or, you know, any resistance or something like that, it's not gonna have any kind of fighting chance. So I swapped out the propellers. It seems to be working perfect, so no complaints there. But this deck, man, this thing is kicking my butt. I really like, when I started this project, it was supposed to be just like a, you know, maybe a day-long refresher. You know, I was going to cut that bad board out, you know, put a new one there, power wash it, and then, you know, paint it. But then I'm like, you know, these steps are all crooked and messed up. It's sagging on one side, you know, how can I fix the sag? And then I was like, you know, it would be cool to put steps along the whole, you know, outside of it. So went and bought, you know, all that stuff as you saw in the last vlog, and had a change of plans again. I'm not doing, like I said, I'm not doing the steps all the way around, but I'm going to make both sides about twice as wide as they are right now. And then I'm going to do one that's even wider than that across the front. So, you know, we can walk right down, like, by the fire pit and stuff like that. God, that fire pit is coming in handy with all this old wood, though. I got my miter saw going today. You know, I was just buzzing through, you know, cutting the planks down so I could throw it in the fire. And it burnt, you know, it's kept the backyard so much cleaner. And then what I didn't show off camera was we just had like garbage all over, just, you know, from a couple times our cans spilled over, and it just, you know, it was windy, so it blew around the yard, and we never really went and picked it up. And I'm ashamed to say that, but, you know, not gonna lie. You know, so there's decent amount of trash around the yard, you know, as I'm sure that you saw. In that back corner by that cement slab, like, the wind seems to always be blowing that way, and it just takes all our leaves and just gets them all stuck around the fence. I got the blower going. I took care of all those leaves. I mean, like, they're like 98% gone. You know, I could probably do another pass, but God, it looks so much better back there. Like, I had the fire pit was like, if I had put them all in there at once, like, it was probably 3 times, you know, full with all the bags of, you know, the little crushed up leaves or whatever from going through the blower. So that looks way nicer. And stuff like that too, like when you got that layer of leaves, when it rains, everything gets wet, including the leaves and everything under it. When it's sunny, that top layer of leaves dries, but then everything under it's still wet. The ground's wet, you know, whether it's grass or dirt under there, you know, it's all muddy. Those leaves are just nasty. And, you know, so it makes your yard nasty. The dogs walk through it, or if you got to walk through it or something like that. So getting rid of those not only looks better, but the grass is going to grow better. When it's sunny like this, you know, the ground's going to dry. You know, it's not like when it rains, it's just going to stay muddy and nasty like it does most of the time. That's kind of why I'm not in a rush for the deck either, because, you know, that's been covered from, you know, the sun for 10 plus years. So it's kind of nice, you know, having it exposed. It's, you know, that ground's going to dry out a little bit, because I'm sure, you know, it's all just saturated down there. The ground's soft, so, you know, letting it dry out is kind of nice. Plus all those leaves under there, if, you know, you saw me in the video, like, as I take the boards off, I'm kind of blowing them through, and then when I get all the way to the end, obviously, you know, they'll all blow through the side. There's so many, I mean, a foot of leaves under there. So, you know, so who knows how many years those have been down there. I'm trying to think. Nothing else really. I mean, nothing else plans wise has changed. I kind of what I want to do with the deck. I would love to do like a perimeter. Like, you know, all the boards right now are just straight, but I would love to do like a kind of like a decorative perimeter or something like that. So I might look into doing something like that. It wouldn't really look well. I guess yeah, I could cut the end boards on an angle, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. Still up in there on the concrete. I'm definitely like where the lattice is right now at the bottom of the deck. There's that lattice that just goes right to the ground. I'm definitely like I'll do more lattice for sure, but I'm not gonna do it the way they did it. Like they just kind of like stapled it or nailed it like in place, and there's nothing at the bottom. So a lot of it was like pushed in or broken, and it just looked like crap at the ground. So what I'm gonna do for sure is do some kind of like rock base, like around where the lattice goes, so it'll actually look really nice. It'll prevent like all the leaves from building up there too. You know, with it being like some kind of gravel, and I get the blower out, you know, they'll just go right through. Or even when I use the lawnmower, it'll go right through. So yeah, this little monopod thing I got is nice. I can hold it, you know, farther away finally instead of being so close. But man, I'm just worn out from this. I've been sitting on my butt, you know, for so long, just, you know, not really doing anything like physically, you know, labor intensive or whatever. So it's funny around here, right around 10 or 11 in the morning, you'll hear, you know, everything just kind of start up. Like people are starting to do yard work. Chainsaw was going today, a couple, you know, trimming trees down there. The people behind me, they're doing, I don't know, they got like a garden or something. You see all those trees, so I can't really see over there, thankfully, because I like privacy. Let me go on a side rant on my rant. One of my biggest goals for our backyard is to get rid of that ugly old chain link fence that you see. Like it's like dented in some places, it's rusty, it's ugly, and actually where those trees are, Bailey will literally climb the fence like a human being, like a kid. She will climb that fence, and she has gone in their yard. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't run. She'll just go over the fence like it's, you know, she doesn't really do it anymore, but she would go over the fence, and, you know, I'd be like, all right, Bailey, come on, let's go inside. And I look out there. She's just, you know, checking out their yard, smelling their dogs. I'm like, oh my God. And it's embarrassing. I'm like, God, you're going to make me put you on a leash, and we got a fenced in yard. But my goal is to get, you know, like the wooden or whatever privacy fence like all the way around. That would make our backyard so nice in my opinion. I mean, not that it's not nice now, but I like privacy, you know, like I don't want to be sitting on the deck. Like right now I can stand on my deck and look over here, and I'm basically looking into this lady's, you know, whole little patio area, and it's just, I don't like that, you know, like I want some privacy. A lot of people said, actually, you know, talk to the neighbors and see if they want to split the cost. I'm like, that's actually a good idea, because they got dogs over there behind us, you know, that bark and freak out. Our dogs bark and freak out if they're outside. So that would actually be kind of nice. The older woman over here, she's actually been out there painting, you know, like repainting it like, you know, the silverish metal look, because it was all rusty. So I think she might be into it. I mean, you know, down for the idea. We've got like 2 lots or whatever, so we'd need a lot of fence, and that's not something, I don't know that I would be opposed to installing it myself. Obviously, like get some friends around or something, but the issue would be ripping out our fence. Like I feel like without big machinery, like some kind of like a bobcat with some kind of grabbing claw or something on it, I feel like it would be a pain in the ass to try to rip our fence out and then, you know, dig down and put all the posts in and all that. But I don't know. I've never done a fence. No, definitely no money for that right now, as much as I'd love to. But I started out when I stopped recording outside too. I did start when I was doing the leaves. I kind of cleared out the hole for the pond, or the little water feature, as you guys saw. Maybe, I think, when I panned around the yard, I got the, you know, the pond, the black liner thing. It's, you know, sitting against the garage. So I definitely want to get started on that soon. I want to do that right now, but you know, I want to get this deck done because we got the dogs, and I don't want the dogs to run out there one day and not pay attention. Like, I put the big pieces of wood up, so they know right now, they're used to going out the right, so it's kind of not really a big deal. But all I need is one day for one of them to, you know, book it out there and not pay attention. Or like Bailey, she'll be 15 feet from the deck running at full speed and just dive up there, you know. So one of them could definitely hurt themselves, so I really want to get the deck done. Like, I'd like to say today's Friday. I'd like to say by Sunday at least have, you know, the top boards done. It's not, you know, that's not unreasonable. So yeah, hopefully by Sunday I can have, like, you know, the shell done, and then, you know, kind of after that just work on the steps, do what I want to do, because we already got one set of steps, so I'm not, you know, I don't need to get those done immediately. I really, really, really want to do concrete. I just don't want to spend the money on it, to be honest with you. It's going to be expensive, I think. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to measure, like, how big I would actually want it, because I don't think I would want the concrete to stop right at the steps. I would think I would want it to go out a little bit farther, you know, maybe like at least a foot or two, you know, just so like when you walk off the steps, you're not walking right into the grass. But I don't know. We'll see. I just, so many options, so much time, so many options. But all right, guys, sorry for not posting like too much content the last couple days. I know there's probably 2 short videos. I actually gotta edit yesterday's vlog and put it up today still, so kind of slacking. But I've got myself on such a bad sleep schedule now. It is 4 in the morning. Yesterday I stayed up. I think Shelby went to bed around 1:30 or 2 o'clock. I started watching Ozark. And every single episode, I was like, all right, I'll finish this episode, then I'm going to go to bed. And then the end of that episode would come up, and I was like, I got to see what happens. Start watching the next episode, say the same thing. All right, this one's over, I'm going to bed. Something would happen, I'd have to keep watching. I ended up binging like 4.5 episodes. I think I was on episode 5. Like, I had already started watching episode 5. So when I started, I was like halfway through, and I finished all 10 episodes, well, all the way up through episode 10, and wow, that was a crazy season. It got so much. First episode, I was kind of lost. Second, it got a little bit better, and then from like the third on, like, I was hooked again, you know, really enjoying the show. Holy crap. But yeah, I went to bed, it was like 5:30 or something yesterday, which is insane. Like, that's when I'm normally, when I work, like, I have to clock in at 5:30 in the morning. So, I hope we don't go back anytime soon, because my schedule is trashed now. And then today, last time I was recording, the last clip you saw was probably 9 o'clock-ish, 8 o'clock-ish, something like that. Shelby went to bed again at like 1:30, and then I was like, you know what, she's getting up to go to bed, I'm gonna go to bed right after her. But, you know, I wanted to edit yesterday's video. Oops, the lighting's terrible like that. I had about, from the deck vlog where, you know, I borrowed my buddy's truck, I had about 45 minutes worth of clips. I wanted to kind of edit them up real quick, get everything going, so I can get back on track again, like where I was uploading every day at like noon. When I was doing that, what I was doing was at night editing the video and uploading it, and then, you know, being done and having it like set to automatically post or whatever at noon. So got that again. That video's uploading as we speak. Everything's done. So tomorrow, for me right now, tomorrow morning, that video will go live. And then this one I'll have edited tomorrow night and going live on Sunday morning. So trying to get back on track of doing that. Like, yesterday was the one where I didn't upload all day, and I just threw up the one about my tattoos real quick, because it only took me, you know, like 20 minutes to edit it. And it was still late though. It was like 10 o'clock before that one went up. But Yeah, it is. I was gonna say it's 9:52. No, power went out earlier, like I said, so the clock's still wrong. It is 4:09. I need to start going to bed earlier. Start getting up earlier. I hate, because I'll wake up at like 11. I'm like, oh, no way. I'm so tired. So I force myself to go, well, I fall back asleep, I should say. Don't force myself. And then 12:30, 1 o'clock rolls by, and then I'm like, I could sleep longer, but I don't want to sleep that late. So I get up. But man, I want to start getting up at like 10 o'clock again. I hate sleeping that late. It just, I feel like by the time I'm up and ready to go, it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, okay, the whole day's gone. But yeah, I don't like staying up this late either. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. I'm watching TV or I'm editing a video or something like that. Like, just go to bed. But all right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.